2022 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Chargers and the reigning Super Bowl champs. And it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Herbert on first down now. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. K'Lavon Chaisson able to record his 5th sack of the season. A few issues here on the offensive line, apparently. He got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Taking it about the 16. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, This is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
Throwing on first down. Lucas flushed out right, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
To throw on second down, Lucas. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs. On first down, Lucas. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Luke Farrell.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then...
nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Josh Allen, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
They sit him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
After the sack on first down, Herbert. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Herbert. And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Josh Allen in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is recovered by the Chargers. Was hoping to make a play there on the
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On 1st and 10, Lucas.
To the right side and complete to Landry.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, Carter Landry maybe doesn't have the speed he once had in his Longhorn days, but he showed a nice little burst after that catch.
Almost like he had a little bit of a throwback there, huh, partner? Because while he was never really a burner, he did have the ability to outrun linebackers. And here, as you described, he looked like the 2014 Carter Landry, and he rumbled for a big gain.
Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here.
A nice display of powerful running, but it takes him only to the 7. He's dropped there. From the gun, Lucas. It's a 6-yard pickup, and he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. L.A. set to take over again on offense.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that one spanning an even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6.
This fielded right at the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college.
And nowhere to go for Herbert. And he's going to go down to Von Hamilton. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors at that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. And his throw here is incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
look to throw. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up nicely with what looks to be a 1st and goal right around the 10-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, Lucas. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. Touchdown! Colin Johnson. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead here in this first half. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Justin Herbert leading this unit out for their next possession. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
You don't want none. You don't give it. Pick up the ball. Let's go, boys.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
To me, this is a case of if you're not getting the ball, you've got to do your job and block for the guy who is, because there really wasn't much there. And, boy, the defense took advantage with that loss.
And the defense, they were just locked in there on 3rd. They had more guys than they could block. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. On second down, Etienne once more. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. A final shot before break. Lucas. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start things out by looking at the AFC South. Indianapolis hosting Tennessee. And it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. Derrick Henry has a touchdown run. From there, we head to the Big Apple, more specifically to MetLife Stadium in Jersey to check on the Giants. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Daniel Jones leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. D.D. Westbrook, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats for the Chargers in that first half. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Second half starts with a run by Etienne. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking to throw on second down. Lucas. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. And that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Travis Etienne, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jags come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And you'd think on third down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And the final number on that throw, boy, it traveled an even 69 yards. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the lead will swell by one more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Now a look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it to slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch? Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Bobby McCain. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
It seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throw right side, caught by Davis. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Looking to throw. Lucas escaping the pressure right. The open man is Shark. It's complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that will extend this big lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Here's Hayne to return.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over.
They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
And now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking. Touchdown, Jaguars!
James Robinson,
his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Jaguars get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Lambeau to add on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Here's Hayne to return.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field, and here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet, and in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Herbert. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Josh Allen in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Going deep here for Allen. And that will be incomplete. Now, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Michael Palardy now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and that will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. On 2nd down, ETN once more. And some room to maneuver. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Jaguars add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Lambo on for the extra point. This no good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Oh, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. Then the Jags grab it. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
The result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
7 yards there and a 1st down. Back to throw. Lucas. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. That's going to be caught. Touchdown! Colin Johnson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars look like they're going to be moving to 6-0 as they extend that lead even further. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You have some pretty ticked-off folks on the other sideline now.
And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Chargers on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. First target, first catch, and a first down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. K'Lavon Chaisson
in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack.
Herbert has it knocked free.
And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, Parker, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. He'll have a first down inside the 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Lambo to add on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And the Chargers coming out on the field now.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
They'll start with the option.
Down to about the 22 here. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. And the offense moving quickly to the line. To throw on 2nd down. Lucas steps away to his left. Looking for the end zone.
And that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Sliding out of the pocket. Open space inside the 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Lambo on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. But it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, it's Herbert.
Well, nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down.
Olivier Vernon. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Justin Madubuike
able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
It's C.J. Henderson picking it off.
And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And bulldozing his way through. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 in the 1st. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going.
This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. But I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout. I think they worked in concert.
I was talking with my crew before the show. By the way, best production team in the biz, or at least that's what they tell me to say. Anyway, I think it's worth discussing on air for this podcast the new Nike commercial they debuted last night. It was not good. It was amazing. You get all these dramatic shots with NFL stars like Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson. But get this, the final shot, they reserve it for the rookie QB from Jacksonville as he puts on his Jaguars helmet and just stares a hole through the camera. I'm talking a serious mean mug. And look at this. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Of course, some people just can't enjoy a good thing. They're saying it's too much.
Back in Week 5, the Texans lost a blowout in their previous game against the Jaguars. Can Jacksonville sweep the series? Find out next.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Throwing on third down, Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. On first down, Lucas. to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5, and it was the visiting Jaguars who won that ball game, so they'll look to make it a clean sweep here at home in Jacksonville. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big time play.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he could really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
He's got his veteran tight end Landry.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense. Just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends.
On the run, it's Robinson. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
That catch good for only a couple.
He'll drop this one off with ETN.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll roll him out right. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Lucas. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Luke Farrell.
His 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. They find themselves open for an easy touchdown.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And we're in the middle part of the season where each week starts to become a little more important, and especially this, Charles, being a division matchup.
Yeah, you haven't fired the starter's pistol or ran the bell lap like they do in track and field for the sprint to the finish, but you're starting to eye it, aren't you? You got to pile up those wins, put them in the left-hand column, not the L's in the right-hand column.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
2nd down and 8. Lindsey now off the read option. Ooh, with a juke. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Here's a give to Lindsey. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 10 more there and another first down. These two teams, they met earlier in the year in Jacksonville with the Jags coming out on top. So a win here in Jacksonville would give them the season series. From the red zone now, Watson is going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down. Watson now to throw. And Cooks has it over the middle. And the Texans are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Lindsey. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Tariq Cohen, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy. Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack. And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong. And this is taken in at the 5. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. What's the deal, y'all? Oh, they hate that. Wipes out the big play. And I know this is the NFL, so they would probably fine you for this type of a penalty. But when I was in college, you used to have to do up-downs for the number of yards that you cost a team in a big play. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Lucas buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. On 1st and 10, Lucas eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Lucas. And they'll go back to Robinson. This time he's got him. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game. I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically teams tie the game up. It's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after
after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together and maybe get into field goal range.
The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This is the tight end, Njoku. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On first down, Watson.
He dumps it underneath here to Lindsey.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On first and 10, Watson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now. Clock here. To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The final shot before the break. Watson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where it was the Chiefs who were able to come away with the home victory. Patrick Mahomes, strong in the victory, as his guys upped their mark to 6-2 on the year. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Russell Wilson, strong in the victory, as his guys up their mark to 6-2 on the year. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Texans in that first half. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting, as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11 after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11.
Another tote for Etienne.
And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. And quickly they get to the line. To throw on 3rd down. Lucas.
This one into the hands of Jalen Camp.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well,
whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Ross Blacklock able to get him for a loss of about 3. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Back to throw. Lucas. They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and this Texans defense stands tall. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Now it's Watson. He'll get this one to Patrick. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Looking to throw. Lucas. Flush to his right. Space to run past the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there hustling in quickly to make the play. Throwing on 1st down. Lucas. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Jaguars are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra points up and good. And it's now 21-7. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. But Houston's offense taking over again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Back now in Jacksonville. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Back to throw, Watson. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, it's Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been
under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Devon Hamilton make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Another try after the first down sack. Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Here's Watson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
On the draw, this is Cohen. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd and very short, Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Watson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he works free. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Running out of the gun with Etienne.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Back to throw. Lucas.
He'll find Etienne out of the backfield.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
A shotgun snap and again to Etienne.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Etienne once more.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. From the gun on 3rd down, Lucas. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
They'll run with Etienne.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lucas. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Coming up on next week's slate of NFL games, we've got the AFC South matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. So we figured, hey, why not do a little did you know about the shared history of these two franchises? And it's one that began in the first regular season game ever played by the Jags, a 10-3 loss to the Titans, known then as the Oilers. Now, these teams have been rivals since the AFC Central Division was still a thing, but, neither team has been able to win the Super Bowl in that time. And, of course, the one time the Titans did advance to the big game, it was, guess who? The Jaguars they had to tame along the way, beat them in the AFC Championship. Of course, Tennessee wound up losing that Super Bowl to the Rams. Meantime, Jacksonville's